The Primate of the Church of Nigeria Anglican Communion, the Most Reverend Nicholas Oko, is asking the federal government to intensify its efforts in improving security in the country. The cleric, who was speaking in Abuja, acknowledges that security has improved in some parts of the country, particularly the northeast. He, however, says the federal government must not relent in ensuring that Nigerians in every part of the country are safe and secure.
There has always been one lapse or the other in any human situation. But I think it has improved because if you remember the state of Boko Haram, that to come to church was a problem. Bombs were exploding at bus stations and everywhere. But today, we have gathered here now, we are not afraid. So I think reasonably, can say it has improved. If you have followed, I have maintained one statement. The government of the day has the sole responsibility to maintain security. That's the meaning of election. They took away all our powers. We handed them over to the people in government with the promise that they will look after us. So we call upon them to look after us, to maintain security, so that people who travel on the roads, people who are sleeping in their homes will be secure. There is no other way to get security. If the situation of security breaks down to militia situation, where everybody forms his own group in the southwest, in the southeast, in the north, in the middle belt, in the this and that, then we are finished. So we hope it will not get to that point, that the government of the day will continue to do its best to ensure that there is security for everybody in the country.
Staying with security, family members of an abductee who was murdered in Nasarawa State are calling for more government action in tackling security challenges in the state. They shared their story after losing the head of their family, Mr. Osondu Nwachukwu, who was abducted from his residence on October the 30th, 2019, and later found dead. Our correspondent Halima Gayam brings us the details.
From the outside are little children having a feel of the sand, and on the inside are a group of sympathizers of a businessman who was abducted and later murdered. 55-year-old Osondu Nwachukwu, who resided in Nasarawa for over 30 years, was a sachet water seller using this apartment for residential purpose and production point. On the 30th of October, he was seized from his residence by suspected robbers after dispossessing him of cash, valuables and documents of his house. After several days in captivity, a ransom of 20 million naira was demanded, but with several pleas, it was reduced to 10 million and later down to 40,000 naira, which was paid, but he didn't come back alive. His family members and associates are in a state of despair and want more government action in tackling the menace.
Look at my husband, an innocent man, a man that doesn't talk. He don't have any problem with anybody. He's a very quiet and innocent. He don't have a friend. He don't eat outside.
The only help I need from the government is for government to set out more, as in to recruit more anti-kidnapping and robbery squad, so that they can track out all these things that has been happening in the country.
A collaboration between local vigilante and the anti-kidnapping squad of the Nigeria police results in the arrest of one of the suspects who was in the process of trying to dispose the body.
In conjunction with the Fulani vigilant group who are guarding their cows within the bush area there, that assisted, that sighted the people moving the wheelbarrow in the midnight. So thinking that the people are coming to attack them, they raised alarm to the police within the checkpoint.
However, the suspect, a retired army officer who is at the Criminal Investigation and Intelligence Department of the police, insists he was only helping the abductors dispose the body before his apprehension.
I haven't shot him. The man was now confused. So what do we do now? He now said, okay, I beg. This is where I came in now. This is where I was involved now. Which is foolish, but this is where I was involved. That I should assist in pushing these cops out of that territory, that farm. Otherwise, you implicate him the more.
The police allayed the fears of residents with new strategies being introduced for their safety.
With the support of the people of this town, I want to assure all the members of public that they should go about their lawful business, because we will provide an unfettered condition that will enable them to actualize themselves without criminal intimidation.
With the increasing cases of kidnapping across the country, residents are optimistic that a proactive action by government at all levels will improve the security situation in the country. Halima Gayam, Channels Television News.
To politics now. The challenge with Nigeria's growth and development will not be addressed by constitutional changes, but by attitudinal and values orientation. Well, that's the view of the national chairman of the All Progressives Congress, APC, Mr. Adams Oshiomhole. He told Channels Television's Lade Akeredoluale on our current affairs program, Newsnight, that those currently bringing up the debate on restructuring are ethnic champions.
The problem we have is that if you have a little issue, our only prescription is repeal and return to the past, to where we are coming from. If that past was good, why did you change it? That's why I speak to what I say as more confusion, lot of heat, very little light. I think that we need to be more constructive in looking at our crisis. We do have very serious crises. Some that we do need to tackle them decisively. But we will only be able to do so if we focus on them as a people, not as people talking as if it is about they and us, we and them, and creating all kinds of artificial divide. And then an argument that can benefit from serious objective analysis of prescription, diagnosis, and solutions. You'll find that it is hijacked by ethnic champions who approach everything from ethnic perspective. I think we can do a lot more to revisit our core values, our attitude. Many things have changed, unfortunately, rather negatively, in terms of our habits. And if those ones don't change, we keep looking at constitutional arrangements, but the attitude is the same. I'm not so sure how much is going to change.
For the full interview with Mr. Oshiomhole, do watch Newsnight tomorrow, Monday 11th November 2019 at 9 p.m. only on Channels Television. The governor of Edo State, Mr. Godwin Obaseki, says that he has the backing of the leadership of the All Progressives Congress in the state to seek another term in office as he enters the final year of his tenure. Mr. Obaseki disclosed this during his speech at an interdenominational Thanksgiving service in Benin City, the Edo State capital, to mark his third anniversary as governor of Edo State. He added that reports reaching him suggest that Edo people in the diaspora are also in full support of what his administration has done so far.
I was shocked when the leaders from all across the 18 local governments came to Benin last week and to say to me, in all that is going on, our governor, we are with you. Just like the man of God said, be focused. And in any case, what is the issue? The issue is about another term. We are now telling you that we will give you another term. That is what the leaders of the party came to tell me. So with the level of support we've enjoyed, with the level of commitments we've received from our friends, both at home and outside, whether it's the diaspora in Nigeria or the diaspora in Europe and America, when you see that these, what I call e-warriors, internet warriors fighting day and night against those people who, for reasons best known to them, think that things should always be the way they used to be. But our diaspora, the Edo population, the Edo people outside of home have been amazing. They've done very, very well. I don't have time to be online on social media. There is so much work to do. But the reports I get is that, you say one untrue word about Governor Obaseki, and there are 50 people who are attacking you online. That is what it has been. So how else do you explain all of this? How else do you explain all this grace? How else do you explain the mercy we've received from all of you and from the Almighty in the last 3 years? We have nothing to say except to just thank God and say, "Uwe se Baba."
And we go over to Ogun State, where a private sector-funded wagon assembly plant has been inaugurated in Kajola in view of the ongoing rail projects in the country. The Vice President, who conducted the groundbreaking ceremony at the site of the plant, says the initiative underscores the passion of President Buhari to deliver effective and efficient mode of transportation. The plant is expected to generate about 5,000 direct and indirect jobs. Our correspondent, Olu Phillips, has this report.
It's a brief but an all-important ceremony and one projected to rewrite some history. The arrival of the Vice President here in Kajola, Ogun State, signaled the start of these groundbreaking formalities for the establishment of a wagon assembly plant, essentially for Nigeria's railway system. The Minister of Transport explains the conception, plan, and essence of the plant.
Realizing the need of the advantage to set up this type of plant, considering the potential need in view of the ongoing rail projects in the country and the sub-region, encouraged Messrs. CCECC to establish this plant. It is expected that the plant will generate job opportunities for Nigerians and as well facilitate the much desired objective of the government towards the local content capacity development. It was in the pursuit of these objectives that the Federal Ministry of Transportation signed an agreement with Messrs. CCECC Nigeria Limited in March 2018 to establish this plant for the production and assembling of rolling stock, spare parts, and maintenance equipment in Nigeria.
Everything that is expected from the plant in terms of capacity delivery is in tandem with a presidential thinking, and this is according to the Vice President.
The plant would offer an important platform for engineers, technicians, artisans, and other professionals to gain the specialized skills required for the production and maintenance of rolling stock. This will invariably conduce to spin-off businesses in the region of operation in particular and across the country, wherever rail networks are in existence.
Being the first to be done in Nigeria, it does appear the drive towards the revival of transportation by rail isn't a fluke and may be taken as a deal far concluded to happen much sooner than later. Olu Phillips, Channels Television News.